If AI feels like it's speeding everything up while making decisions harder, you're not imagining it. This is the AI Marketing Coach podcast. I'm Carmela Fortin. I work with founders and marketing leaders who are under pressure to use AI, but don't want to break trust, confuse their teams, or ship strategy they can't stand behind. This podcast isn't about tools or prompts. It's about how AI changes go-to-market, leadership, and credibility before the tech ever matters. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the AI Marketing Coach podcast. Today, we have Kelly Lorenzen, podcast host of Collaborative Connections and owner of KLM Consulting Marketing and Management, author of Do What You Love and Outsource Everything Else, which I also love. So welcome, Kelly. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So one of the things that I know you love to do, I'm going to volley back at you in terms of an icebreaker: beach or mountains?
Beach.
Tell me why. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm home. I'm in my happy place. So we always try to find a vacation where we can be by a beach.
Oh, that's so great. Yes, I'm in the mountains. So, but in the Puget Sound, you really are 5 minutes from either. So it's
Oh,
kind of
yes.
either way.
Yes, I love that area.
It's so fun. And Kelly, you're from Arizona, right?
I am. Yep.
Oh, that's so great. Sunshine, sunshine. That's wonderful. So, just to warm this up for our listeners, what's one task that you refuse to do in your business anymore and why?
Bookkeeping, and accounting. Nobody should be doing their own books. It takes a normal business owner way too long to do that. So it's really inexpensive for somebody to outsource that piece of your business. So I tell every single client, you need to outsource your bookkeeping and accounting.
That's a great tip. And on the outsourcing piece, such a great balance between outsourcing to people that you know and outsourcing to platforms. How do you strike that balance?
I decide if it can be automated, then put it to a platform. If it is something that needs some thought behind it, some variation, then I outsource to either a vendor who's very good at that. So website maintenance, for example, right? If I don't want to do my website maintenance, there's a company who only does website maintenance, then just outsource it to them, let them figure it out, right? That needs a little bit of manual input of updates and things. Something that could be automated is the response that happens when somebody books a podcast, right? What is the reply that you always send to somebody? That piece can be automated. So I really try to figure out what needs the human touch and then what is repeatable and the same exact every single time that doesn't need a human touch. Then I put it to software.
That's so helpful, just kind of delineating between productivity, efficiency, the right place to put that. So Kelly, you work with a lot of business owners. What's a really common theme that you might see when it comes to balancing AI and marketing?
There's most business owners at this stage are scared of AI. They're trying to dip their toe in a little bit, but they're so nervous about where the information is going, what to use it in, how to use it. So it's more kind of being their business counselor, right? And saying, we have to embrace, right? You need to embrace AI to move your business forward. It also helps you eliminate time, right? We all need to buy back some time. And so by using AI, you can buy back time, which also then helps you not burn out as a business owner. So I kind of give them all the reasons why it's a good thing. And then depending on what they need it for, then we figure out how to use I like lots of different platforms, but why would you use this platform over this one? And we kind of walk through what their goals are Again, what things can be, I have like a coda method, I call it, where you're like, what should I keep? What's outsourced? What's delegation to my team? And then what can be automated, right? And so you can work with the AI tools to try to decide which things can be automated and then which things you need to actually keep or give your team. But it's just walking through the different tools and getting them more familiar with it. You remember when people were on LinkedIn for the first time and they're like, I'm scared of LinkedIn, right? They were frantic. Or Instagram. I don't want to put my face on Instagram. No way, right? So it's the same. It's just making them comfortable, and the more we can handhold and show them and teach them and train them, the more comfortable they get, and then they're okay to use it moving forward.
And at KLM, do you see a lot of that struggle between overwhelm and do I outsource? And what are some of the ways that you recognize those signs?
Yeah, a lot of business owners try to wear all the hats all the time, and they keep control because, as entrepreneurs, we kind of have to be a little bit of a control freak or we wouldn't be owners, right? Um, but you have to, the faster you delegate, the faster you get it off your plate, the less likely you are going to burn out. I burnt out several times in my life. Luckily, the third time I didn't. I had all my ducks in a row. So I had delegated to my team. I had a team in the first place, right, to delegate to. I figured out as much as I could get off my plate so that I didn't have to burn out again, for the third time.
And recognizing those signs of burnout. And then a lot of newer business owners don't recognize those signs. So what's really interesting is when I get a lot of my clients and they, give me a call or they send me a message, something is already broken. There's already burnout. Things are already in a bad place, and it's so nice to have that proactive approach. A lot of people come to AI because they need answers fast. What to use, what to automate, and what will move the needle now. That pressure is real, and ignoring it isn't practical. The work I do through Seattle Startup Coaches is about helping leaders move quickly without creating rework, tech debt, or decisions that they have to unwind later. We are all in a new cultural shift of figuring out AI like MacGyver. Maybe hit the brakes a little bit to focus on what gets the most impact for you, for your team, for your company. At Seattle Startup Coaches, we don't just advise on go-to-market or AI strategy. We act as the pre-AI layer, clarifying what matters, what gets automated, and what needs human judgment before your systems go live. We are Seattle-based, serving SaaS and AI companies nationwide with executive level go-to-market strategy, demand generation, and revenue leadership. We have proven growth systems that are trusted by founders from seed all the way through Series C and beyond. If you want smarter execution with fewer surprises, you'll find more at seattlestartupcoaches.com in the show notes. And now, back to the episode.
I know. Most of them wait too long and are on the road to burnout, or they're like, I'm done. But you want to, hopefully they reach out to one of us right before they're actually done and completely burnt out, because it's harder to come back from that as opposed to like, oh, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling restless, I'm not sleeping at night, I don't have time to exercise. All those are like, no, like it's time to look at your plate and do some more delegation and automation for sure.
So interesting, because people hear the word burnout all over the place, and sometimes it's not directly associated with what they're doing, but when business owners start to feel that feeling of, oh, this isn't really working, or I'm just doing everything I can and I just had a really bad day because this isn't working out. The reason we're talking about burnout is because we all want to see them win.
And And most of the time, we're 50% don't make it past year 5 because they burn out, or they don't get the help they need fast enough, or they don't get the sales they need. There's so many reasons, but one of those reasons is because they burn out. They just can't do it for that long.
And you've worked with a lot of clients that have that discomfort between, I want to do everything, and do I really outsource this? And that's one of the things that you talk about in your book as well. So, are there some clients that you've really helped with the outsourcing piece and kind of letting go and starting to unclench on the things that they're holding so tightly to?
I think it's looking at their goal. Yes, we do that often to answer your question. And I always ask, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish this year or in the next few years? And one of my clients, like, I haven't taken a vacation with my family out of the state or out of the country in 10 years. I'm like, that's not okay. Your daughter's going to be out of the house soon. I need to get you to a point where you can shut off your phone. You can not physically be here to do the work, and somebody else is going to handle your email, handle your phone, and be gone. And within the year, we got him an assistant and got him a whole team and got him all the systems put in place. And here's the SOPs. And then he was able to take 10 days in Europe and completely shut his phone off and not have to worry about it at all. Like, so you kind of have to baby step it in, but back engineer it of like, what's the end goal? Is it to take a vacation? Is it to have 2 or 3 days off a week, so that you can hang out with your kids, or go do a side fun, sport you like to do? I mean, you just have to think of that, and then that makes it easier to delegate and outsource, because you're like, okay, I just have to get to that point so that I can do my fun things.
Exactly. And when people hear AI and marketing, they're instantly going to content or ads, but it's actually some of the things that we operationalize and the things that we don't outsource. So what are some of the areas that you help clients, other than, you mentioned having an assistant and some other things? What are some areas that you help your clients?
In operation, as far as operations go, is having a CRM that has some workflows, that there's automations built into it. So when this happens, this trigger happens inside the CRM, and then this is the follow up. So we do a lot of CRM projects, and with some workflows and automations inside of there, using AI, so that it just shrinks their time. Again, we only have so many hours in a day, and if we can consistently shrink time, and AI is helping do that, then they get time back, and their operations are smoother. Oh, wait, I could have somebody else write up my estimates. It's just really cool, all the different AI tools. There's one. Have you heard of Plod? It's like this little gadget, that you can wear. And so we also own an electrical business. So I said, okay, wear the device on the road to the job, talk about what you need done on, to Plod, and then it automatically gets emailed to his assistant, so that, she can write up the estimate. Right. So it's just like little tiny things, whereas then he's not 9, 10 o'clock at night looking at all his notes, and he's got to do it himself. Right. So it's just kind of doubling up, or figuring out what things can be automated. But we do a ton of hiring projects and CRM projects to help clients get stuff off their plate.
That's so fun. I love hearing CRM projects. I've been a Salesforce admin since 2004. What is that, 22 years?
Oh my gosh.
And when Expedia was getting off the ground, I was one of the first Salesforce admins that handled the kind of the swing shift emergencies that happened overseas. And so we would send out emergency alerts and do all kinds of stuff back when there were emergencies. But it's so interesting, after all that time, when you're working with an expert, it would take me no time to do major projects because I've been doing it for so long. So if someone did outsource that, which I don't do Salesforce projects anymore, but if someone did or outsource that to an expert, it takes them such a short amount of time versus if you're trying to sort through it yourself and you're trying to manage all these different problems and all the issues that might come up with your CRM or even just the day-to-day management, it can take someone a really long time. And, someone that's been doing it for a long time comes in and says, don't do that. Just let me handle it. I got it. Go on vacation.
Exactly. Why struggle, right? Why struggle with something? It's like when clients used to tell me, I spent 2 hours writing writing that post to go on LinkedIn. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, like don't do
Don't do it.
that.
Yeah.
Before AI, like we have writers, we have people that are really good at immediately getting stuff out. Do not spend your time and energy on that because it's not just a time suck, it's an energy suck. And then you're like, I'm too tired to think about growth, right? You can't see big picture if you're in the day to day and you got a million tasks on your plate. How are you going to think about like, ooh, what's a new collaboration? Who's a new business partner I want to go after? Who's all these, right? Big picture things. You can't do that if you're trying to do 15 different jobs in one.
That's so true. And even with LinkedIn posts and how long that they take, I've seen a lot of folks just say, oh, I'm so glad AI is here. And I'm just going to cut and paste what I get out of this content platform or what I get out of the system. And I'm just going to use that. And it's got my voice and it's great. Well, actually, you lose a lot of authenticity and connection with your audience. And so, what I see a lot of founders do is they'll kind of 60-40 using a writer that has their voice, an actual person, and balance that with the efficiency model where they're using AI or somewhere in between. But what they won't do, and a lot of folks think that founders do just completely use ChatGPT, what they won't do is completely used in a form of AI because they lose that connection with their audience. So I love that you mentioned using an actual writer because you do need that. Otherwise, you're going to lose it. Some folks will still control Shift V, but it's not going to do it.
It's not. And you can tell most of us, right, who've been using AI for a long time can tell what's written by AI and what's not if you copy paste. And so I'm like, if you're going to do this by yourself, let me give you some basic pointers of what make it not look like you didn't just copy paste this into there, right? Like no rocket emojis.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the rocket emojis. Some folks still have the M dash in there. It's like, yeah, it's your audience sees that and they see that you're not there anymore. No one's at the wheel, and that's just very discomforting. So, in terms of, buying back time, what are some stories that you've heard from clients on, hey, I'm going on vacation, or I have X amount of hours in my week now, or I have balance. I had a client one time that said, I have a girlfriend. And it was this shocking revelation. I thought, oh, well, yeah. So what are some stories that you've heard from clients?
Yeah, it's a lot of they're sleeping better, they're able to exercise, they're able to have a day or two off on the weekends. I've got some clients they come to me and they're like, I'm working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, and they're not doing literally anything else, and we just can't, and they can't sustain that. And so we get them to like, okay, time blocking, we're even helping like manage schedule. Okay, how do we fit this all in? I promise you it's possible. Don't check your email for 24 hours. Like nothing's going to harm anything if you don't get back to somebody within 24 hours. So we're really coaching people on how to be more efficient with their time, and then how all the things, like list all the fun things you want to accomplish, because I have somebody that else is going to be here to handle it. Like one of my clients loves mountain climbing, and he's in Argentina at the moment because we've got an assistant, we hired and trained and onboarded, and who's answering all the emails and all the everything, so that he doesn't have to worry about the stuff falling through the cracks while he's gone. So it's just fun. Most of the time it's travel or like take a vacation, that they haven't had in forever.
That's so great to hear. And in terms of, hot takes, and with small businesses, even medium-sized businesses, oftentimes we find that they don't need more marketing, or they don't need more AI. They need more follow through. Is that something that you agree or disagree on, or have some thoughts on?
100%. Half of marketing is the follow up and follow through, right? That's like, if you're not doing the engagement, if you're not following up with leads, if you're not following through on what you say you're going to do, there's no point in doing the sales or marketing, because your business is not going to last. So 100% agree that follow up and follow through is half the battle.
Mm-hmm. Their business still needs them. AI is not going to do that for them. That's a great point. So in terms of an AI trend that you've seen that maybe business owners are overthinking right now, what might that be?
Well, or not thinking enough about is the thing we talked about, is copy paste. You cannot just copy paste. And they're using it for, their thought partner and all these things, but they don't know the questions to ask. Right. In order to put the right things in it. So they still need the human who's been there, done that, like you and I. Okay, let me help guide you, and then we can use AI, and then we're going to massage it again, and then so it's fitting it in. AI is ridiculously helpful, but it can't replace human interaction, and it can't replace the whole entire process, right? We still have to be in there. So I think it's good and it's fun, and there's so many cool tools, but you just got to be careful on how you use it and what you're using it for. I have a client who's a psychiatrist, and she's like, people are using it as their literal counselor, but they're not telling it that they have bipolar, that they have, all these other things. Well, it can't give you a good answer if you're not giving it literally the full story. It's the same thing in business. I know enough questions to ask as a business, like, because I've been a business owner 24 years. Okay, I know everything, you've been there, done that, and everything you're going through. So I know the questions to ask you to get you to answer, right? And then we can run it through AI. But it's not going to know that, and they're not going to know how to prompt that,
That's a great point. Yeah, I love that. And with business owners that you speak with, if they say, hey, Kelly, you know what? I just feel like this is really overwhelming. I don't want any AI in my marketing. What's your response, or how do you move them in the right direction?
It's going to be, if they don't take advantage of it, eventually it's going to bite them, because they're going to burn out, because they're going to, not have enough time to do the things they love. So we always go back to the goals and what they want to accomplish, and say, you don't have to use it, right? Like, we can do everything for you, and then we'll, integrate it how we want to integrate it. So they don't have to, but they're going to get left behind if they don't start a little bit learning it, right? And getting trained by people like us and you and everybody who knows how to use it and use it the right way. I feel like they're going to get left behind.
So Kelly, if someone's listening and thinking, I don't want to get left behind, what's a micro step that they could take this month?
Start playing with Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity, and use all three of them and put in similar prompts and ask it similar things and see which one is closest to what you would think as in your business as a human. And then you'll know which platform to use for which thing. Just start playing with it. And then obviously reach out to people like us, like you and I, that can help guide them and get training on it. But the longer you play with it, the easier it is to not feel so overwhelmed by it.
That's a great point. And Kelly, where can people find you? Where can they work with you, or just kind of find out more about what you do?
Our website's duplicatemyselfklm.com, and we're on every social platform with the same handle, duplicatemyself.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kelly, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Before we wrap today, one important note. If you're dealing with AI decisions such as what to automate, what not to touch, or how to move faster without breaking things, or maybe you want to break things, we can do that too. That's the work that we do at Seattle Startup Coaches. Most people don't get stuck with AI because they lack information. We step in as the pre-AI layer for marketing, so you don't have to figure this out alone or learn the hard way. That means helping leaders decide what gets automated, what stays human, and how to move quickly without creating rework or tech debt later. We work with clients that need full guidance and those that are on the right path and just need a reset. If you want that level of support from a go-to-market partner, not more content, not more tools, and not best-kept secrets or playbooks, you will find us at seattlestartupcoaches.com. And if this episode was useful, follow the show. These conversations are designed to build on each other. So that's it for today. Back to the work.